Oh, hey y'all. I hope that you're doing fabulously. I know I am. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Seamus and it is a pleasure to meet you. And basically today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, obviously we're all trapped in isolation all around the world. People are stuck in their homes with nothing to do, and I've been spending my time doing a lot of soul searching and thinking about how I can tell my story in a better way. How can I be the best version of myself? And I came to thinking that my channel is called Gay Astray, and as much as I love making travel content, I haven't really ever addressed my queerness on this channel, and I've never made a video talking about my experiences as a gay person or coming out. And so today's video is going to be my very dramatic, very extra coming out story. Why now? Why am I making this video now? And the honest answer is I'm 26 years of age and I'm finally at a point in my life where I love myself so much and I'm completely comfortable with every aspect of my personality and my being that I feel this fire inside me. I feel this voice inside me that's ready to come out and hopefully be some sort of inspiration for young people who were in the position that I was 9 years ago. You know how some people say being gay doesn't define me, or being insert minority here doesn't define me? I guess that's true for most people, but for me it's definitely not. And I'm saying this very proudly, okay? You can see the rainbow flag in the background. I am very, very, very proud to be gay. I love being gay with every cell in my body, with every fibre of my being, because it's fucking fabulous. And I know that girls run the world, but gays come a close second. We come a very close second. Now, I'm just gonna sanitize my hand because this story's about to get messy. Before we go into the coming out story and my experiences growing up gay, how did I realize that I was gay, and how did I tell my family that I was gay, all of the juicy gossip that you guys came here for, I just want to say that the best thing that happened to me in my life is being gay. I swam the fastest and got myself up into that tunnel where I became the fabulous life form that you see before you, and someone up there, God, the universe, said, okay, this little sperm right here is gonna be the gay one. And I'm blessed. It's not easy growing up knowing that you're different. It's not easy having to live a double life, and it's definitely not easy getting bullied for it and being picked on because you're different. All right, a little bit of context. I am from a very small town in Northern Ireland, and it's 2 hours from Belfast, 3 hours from Dublin. Our nearest town is miles away, so we've got like a couple of pubs, the essentials. We've got a hair salon, we've got a church, a chapel, a priest, 2 schools. That is pretty much all there is in my village. It's a very conservative place. Everyone there is religious, and obviously being from Northern Ireland, there's still a little bit of religious tension there. I mean, I'm not a very political person and I don't really get involved in it, but I know that it's still a thing. So growing up in a place like that wasn't easy for someone like me, because you know how people say, when did you know you were gay? I knew from the beginning. I knew from the beginning that I was different, and I didn't know what it was. I have got 2 older sisters, both of whom I completely idolized as a child. One of my sisters was an Irish dancer, and so some of my earliest memories from my childhood were going to these Irish dancing competitions where all the girls would be getting into these massive wigs, fake tan, makeup, and like getting on the stage and performing. I think that explains why I went down the route of being very artistic, very performative, very self-expressive. So some of my earliest memories were from these feshes. They're called feshes, these Irish dancing competitions, and I remember my mother getting me into music, getting me into Irish dancing, and so I kind of followed in the footsteps of my sisters. This was, you know, early 2000s, late 90s, because I was born in 93, so I was like a 90s baby, and then from the early 2000s is when I kind of started to grow up a little bit. So I was going to Irish dancing, and back in those days in Northern Ireland there was not a lot of young guys doing Irish dancing. So most of my friends were female, were also very into their Irish dancing, and I just always gravitated towards girls. Hanging out with girls, I found it a lot easier to talk to girls. Now, primary school was difficult for me because I knew that there was something in me that was always going to be the butt of the joke for all of the other people, and I didn't know what the hell it was. I just thought that I was being picked on because I wasn't liked, but really what it was is that I was quite camp, I was quite in your face, I was just doing all of the things that the other boys were not doing. I was dancing around, I was running around with a tea towel on my head pretending that it was long blonde hair. I was playing with the Barbies and the dolls' heads instead of the cars. I was drawing these gorgeous glamorous women, whereas the other boys were drawing tractors and horses. And so I separated myself unknowingly. I was a horrible kid. Oh my god. I got in so much trouble at primary school for like causing these unnecessary rows, arguments, fights in the canteen. I would like throw people's sandwiches away, people would pick on me, it would be like all of this drama. But it wasn't because I wanted to start fights or start drama, it was because I felt like, you're not letting me be myself, people are just not letting me be accepted. And I remember the boys used to call me queer in primary school, and I was like, what the hell is that? Like, what does that even mean? I would be crying my eyes out, and I would go home and I would tell my mum, they're all calling me queer, they're all calling me gay boy. I just didn't understand what that meant, because at that age you don't know that you're gay. Gay is a sexuality. At that age you're not attracted to anyone. I couldn't really understand why people were bullying me for being gay or for being queer when I didn't even understand what the hell that meant. I mean, that definitely built me up to be a very proud queer person now, because you go through so many years of hiding it and repressing it and paying for being gay as a young person growing up in a heteronormative society, that when you can finally break free from that, you're gonna let them have it. You're gonna let the gay take over and you're gonna love it. Right, so flash forward to secondary school. I pass all of my exams from primary school and I get into the best grammar school in my town, which is an all boys Catholic grammar school. It writes itself. 800 boys, all under one roof, nobody identified as gay, not a single person. If you even insinuated that you were gay, you were like an abomination. So I repressed it for a long time, even though I knew that I was gay and I had crushes on the guys in my class. I would sit there in French class beside one of the football playing typical straight athlete types, and we literally would feel each other up under the table. I mean, it's very confusing to think back because I know for a fact that I wasn't the only gay person in that school. I guess that I was the only one that was sort of out and proud in a way, and that didn't really hide the fact that I liked High School Musical, that I liked to Irish dance, that I liked to perform, and that I was artistic and musical. But this is where the story gets interesting. So MSN, if you don't know what MSN is, it's basically like Facebook Messenger, but back when dial-up internet was a thing. So I would go on MSN and I would find other gay people on MSN to talk to, and this was when I was like 13 or 14, 15, I don't know. As I'm sure we have all done something similar when we have access to internet and we have no actual other gay people in our lives. We go online and we try and find our tribe. And a guy from the year above me in school popped up on MSN asking me, are you gay? And as weird as it is, no one had actually asked me that. Everyone assumed it. Everyone picked on me for it. Everyone liked to call me all of the homophobic names under the sun, but no one actually took the time to respectfully ask me, are you gay? And so to have this random guy from the school that essentially hated anything to do with being gay ask me, I actually thought to myself and said, yeah, I am. Now, once you've come to the realization that you're gay, what happens next? This is where the fun begins. The guy that I'm speaking to on MSN is bi, and he messaged me because he likes me. But the problem is he's got a girlfriend, and he's in the year above me at the same school, so we're gonna see each other every day, but nobody can ever know that we're having these conversations. And so it's a very high pressure situation, as you can imagine. Most people will just have that high school crush, that cute little romantic thing where they have a girlfriend or they go steady with someone, but for me it was shit. Now I'm falling for this guy who I speak to every night, who's my only person to talk about with this stuff, and who's the only person that's ever acknowledged me in a romantic way. But we can't actually address it in person, we can't talk about it in person, we can't take this any further. I started to get feelings for this person, and I started to get very depressed. I just felt not good enough. Why won't this guy, who's so confident and so attractive to everyone wanted to be his friend, everyone wanted to be around him. He had a girlfriend, but you know, he was the only person like at that time that understood me, so to speak, on that level. Why couldn't he just want me? I started to just like realize that I was never going to have a normal first crush, a normal first kiss, a normal relationship in the place where I was, because as I said, it's a very, very highly judgmental, very religious, very conservative area. There was no speak of gay people. There was no speak of anyone coming out of the closet. There was literally nothing. So that carried on for a couple of years, and I essentially ended up falling in love with this guy. I couldn't not speak to him. I couldn't not see him, and every time that I did see him, it almost validated me. He was the only person that would really hear me. For a few years, we would be saying really lovely, cute things to each other on Messenger at night, alone in our rooms, and then when we see each other in school and he's got all the lads around him and I'm like walking through the hall with my fucking High School Musical ring binder, we wouldn't even acknowledge each other. Did a lot of damage, and still think about that to this day of how hard that was. But I'm sure that there's a lot of people that go through a similar thing. So jump forward a few years, what happens was we end up becoming friends through other people, and we end up going on a trip together, and one thing leads to another, and I lost my virginity to him on the trip, which was fun. It was amazing. Obviously he was like the one person in my life that I really, really liked, that I was really attracted to, and that I felt comfortable with, and I looked up to. I worshipped the guy, and so for him to be the first person that I ever had any kind of sexual intercourse with was amazing. I was like, oh, this worked out well, didn't it? Little did I know it would not end well. So as soon as it happened, we stopped talking. He became very weird with me, and he suddenly moved his energy and attraction onto a girl that was on the trip, and so I basically had to watch him crack on with this girl for the rest of the trip, and I couldn't speak to anyone about it because no one knew I was gay, and I couldn't talk to him about it because he wouldn't speak to me, and I couldn't talk to anyone else about it because no one knew that he and I had this thing going on. It was all very messy and all very hard to comprehend. That all went up in flames, and I still was nowhere nearer to finding anyone else gay, and this was before dating apps, this was before smartphones with Grindr and Scruff, and obviously this was before I was even 18. While I was in school, I had two best friends, John and Simon. Hi John, hi Simon, if you're watching it. They were like brothers to me. We would do everything together. We would play Xbox for days, we'd eat junk food, we'd go to music gigs together, we would make stupid little short horror movies together, which is some of my fondest memories from my teenage years. And I remember John and Simon very clearly sat me down one night and asked me, Seamus, are you gay? And I just denied it. I said no, because I couldn't bear the thought of my two best friends finding out that I'm gay, being uncomfortable with it, and disowning me. But they said, if you are gay, it's fine, and we accept you. And I just thought, okay then, yes, I am gay, and thank you. And so after that, it was like, oh my god, Not everyone is going to disown me. Not everyone is going to think that I'm a complete freak or weirdo or the worst thing in the world for being gay. Some people are cool with it. So that was kind of the moment where I realized that maybe where I was from and the conservative area and the religious beliefs was what made people act the way they did. It wasn't necessarily that the way I was awful. So my 18th birthday rolls round. Obviously I've not come out to my family. Most of my close friends don't know I'm gay, even though it's very obvious. I haven't officially came out. After I finished secondary school, I still hadn't come out to my parents, and I went to college and I studied fine art for 1 year, and this is when the realization came that I'm going to university, I'm moving away from Northern Ireland, and I'm going to be free. I'm going to meet guys, I'm going to get a job in a gay bar, and I'm finally going to learn what it means to be gay. And so the realization started to creep in that I need to tell my parents. They need to know before I leave to go to university, because the thing with my family is they would always see me in pictures with lots of really beautiful girls. As I said at the start of the video, all of my closest friends are girls. I just find it more comfortable to be around girls, easier to talk to. So every time I would be pictured with girls, my family would always say, oh my god, is this a new girl? Is this a girlfriend? Who's this? Who's that? What's going on? Have you kissed her? I'm like, no, I'm gay, I like boys. Cut it. Obviously I didn't say that, I was thinking that the whole time, but I had to play up to that. I had to live that double life. I had to act as if I was the person they thought I was. And I remember it got to a point where I was crying myself to sleep every single night in my room, and I just thought, this has to stop. What is it gonna take for me to not feel this way? And it clicked in my mind that I'm gonna have to sit my mother and father down and tell them. I made the decision to put my happiness and my peace of mind before theirs. I didn't know how they were going to react. I just knew that it was going to shatter their world, shatter their view of me, and change their whole perception of the person that I was. So coming out was the most difficult, the most terrifying, the most stressful thing I've ever had to do, but I'll tell you one thing, it takes big balls, and it was also the most liberating, exciting and character building thing as well. So I sat them down on the sofa, and I remember it like it was yesterday. The clock was moving extremely slowly. My dad was watching TV and my mum was in the kitchen, and I just said, Dad, can you turn the TV down? I was stuck to the sofa. We have leather sofas. I was stuck. You could peel me off the sofa. I was sweating that hard. And so I called my mum in, tell Dad to mute the TV. He says, my mum goes, what's the matter? Are you sick? I said no. And I remember saying, you're both gonna hate me, but I'm gay. And that's how I came out to my parents. And you could hear tumbleweeds. And the silence lasted for what felt like an eternity, but it was probably only a few seconds before my mum said, how do you know? How do you know? How do you answer that? Is that a rhetorical question? How do I respond to that? And then my dad goes, what do you say to that? And I just remember thinking, oh my god, this is the end. But luckily we got through it, we talked it through. We did the hugs, we did the crying, we did the kisses, and we didn't speak of it again. It wasn't easy after that. We are a religious family, and so it took a very long time before I could openly talk about anything to do with guys or relationships or how I was feeling as a gay person without causing a bit of distress. Even after I told my parents that I was gay, it wasn't easy for me to talk to them. So I still really didn't have anyone around me that I could ask questions to, that I could figure out what it meant to be gay, that I could ask about gay sex, like how does it work. So I really loved my year at college studying fine art, because I've always put my feelings and my emotions into the artwork that I would create, and I think that that's probably what's been missing from my life in recent years, is that I've become so comfortable in my sexuality. I've grown so much from that person, but I do miss expressing myself and telling my story through my art, and that is exactly why I created this channel, is to express myself and tell my story and be the star of my own story and to own it. And so I feel like now is the perfect time to record this video, as we are all in isolation. We are all trapped inside with ourselves, with plenty of time to reflect and soul search. So going back to the story, I finished college. I still was nowhere closer to having a boyfriend or any healthy relationship for that matter. And I got accepted into my university, which was Bournemouth in the south of England, which I absolutely loved. So I moved to Bournemouth. I was like feeling like Carrie Bradshaw, Sex in the City. I wanted to get myself out there in the scene, meet guys, have a boyfriend, go to the gay bar, see drag shows. So I got myself a job in the gay bar as soon as I arrived and started working there. And I was like a fish out of water. I had never seen a drag queen before. I'd never even spoken to more than 2 or 3 gay people in my life. So I decided to throw myself in off the deep end. And let me tell you, it was fun. It was fun. I had people giving me their phone numbers. I had guys flirting with me behind the bar. Comparing that to when I worked in my local pub back home in County Fermanagh, where I felt like I always had to have my guard up because the majority of people in there were these real straight-laced, middle-aged guys who were there to watch the football or the darts. So I was always hiding myself. So it was so nice to be in a gay bar surrounded by other gay people, and slowly but surely I started to come into myself, and finally I started to love being gay. It wasn't something to be ashamed of anymore. Everyone that I met from that point on knew that I was gay, and I didn't hide it from anyone, and I didn't try to hide it from anyone. And ever since then, I've been on a journey exploring my sexuality, exploring what it means to be gay, exploring my gender. What does it mean to be masculine? What does it mean to be feminine? I have had the best time doing it, and I will always, always be proud of where I came from and who I've grown to be. I might not be good at a lot of things. I might not be the best at a lot of things, but I'm sure good at being the gayest bitch in the room. If you are someone who's struggling to come out, if you're someone who is terrified of what your parents or your friends are going to say, if you're from a very conservative place, if you were raised in a strict religious family and you're worried that being gay is going to land you in the depths of hell, you may be right. None of us know. At least you'll have me there to keep you company. And if you're worried about coming out, I feel for you, and I wish that there was something that I could do to make it better, make it easier. But look, you are the only person that can live your life. You were the fastest swimmer, okay? And you are gay, and your parents will either accept it or they won't. But is their happiness and is their life more important than your life? You need to be authentic. And I know it's easy for me to say I'm a white cis guy from Northern Ireland. I'm not living in a country where being gay is punishable by death or being gay is illegal. Okay, I realize I have those privileges, and it might not be so easy for people who are in a place that being gay can land you up in jail or dead. Be strong. It will get better. I promise, because it got better for me. I didn't think it could. I remember lying on the floor of my bedroom, hysterically crying to the point of almost getting sick, thinking, when will this end? When will I feel better? And bitch, I feel better. It might have taken 9 years to get to this point, but I feel so damn good in my own skin. No one can say a single word to me anymore. I have the thickest skin. I wish that for everyone out there, because we need more We need more pride in the world. We need less judgment. And maybe you can show this video to your friend if you think that they're gay and that they're struggling to come out. If this video is going to help anyone, then I will be very, very happy. That is the whole reason that I started this channel, and that's the whole reason that I want to tell my story and put myself out there, because I know it's going to help someone. And so that's where I am now. I've fully come to terms with being gay, and I fucking love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to live my unicorn life, be fabulous, spread my story around, spread my love, spread my positivity, inspire others, and just be an overall king. Don't we all want that for ourselves? Do we all want that for our friends? Do we all want that for our families? Got very passionate there. Yeah, this video wasn't scripted. This video wasn't planned. If there's one thing that I know I'm good at talking about, it's being gay, because it's all that I've had to think about all my life. Oh my God, relax. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't know how it's gonna go down, quite honestly, but it felt good to tell my story, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GayAstray. And until next time, have a fantastic, fabulous, very gay day. See you in the next one, guys.